to the directors, Bonnie and John, that this follow-up to An Inconvenient Truth, there's an incredible sense of optimism in the film, and there's a call to action. And can you tell us about that approach that you had in this follow-up?
Sure. I also just want to echo our thanks for all of you coming out today, especially with the rains looming tomorrow. We're really happy to be here, and we feel the support of this community. And anyway, we're very happy to be here. The optimism in the film really reflects Al's optimism. This is somebody who, as you all know, has been working in this space as an environmental activist for 40 years throughout his political career and beyond, and still remains optimistic. In the making of the film, we had many times where the three of us would completely lose hope. From the moment we met Al, he started to show us the 10-hour version of his slideshow, and we got the full whack of everything that had changed and gotten worse. And by the lunch period when we were meeting together for the first time in Nashville, we were ready to walk out the door and jump off the nearest cliff. And after lunch, he started to talk about the solutions and what the cost down curves and everything that's now possible in the sustainable revolution and the alternative energy space. And we started to rise back up again and feel his optimism. And that happened through the course of the making of the film. So we really felt that the actual narrative needed to reflect that, because, as Al says in the film, despair is paralyzing, and that's the worst thing that can happen to us as a civilization. We have to keep going, and we have to hold on to that hope. So we wanted to give audiences the hope that we felt in the making of the film.
And John, you guys, as filmmakers, made a big decision to create a cinema verite style where you follow Mr. Gore in personal moments, in big moments. Can you tell us about that approach as filmmakers?
Yeah, again, thank you. We're very happy to be here today. Just to carry on the story that Bonnie was just relating about the first time we met Al at his home in Nashville, where he was gracious enough to invite us in and bring us up to speed on the climate crisis and the solutions. That night, I think our minds were swimming with all this information that we just took in. But really, emotionally, we were, aside from all the information, we were quite moved by Al's energy and his kind of endless, we called him the Energizer Bunny, among other things. His ability to start down a pathway where he himself doesn't know where it's going to lead, which he's been on now for 40 years of his life, is an incredible trait for a leader and somebody who's remains focused about a cause. And that kind of emotional intensity, his attention to detail, his capacity to understand and to communicate, was something that we felt was really important to get across to audiences. We felt like that might not be as understood as his message has been for the last 10 years. And we thought, well, the way that we know how to do that is to follow people around with cameras. And so we pitched the idea to Al of doing a cinema verite portrait. And I think he swallowed hard, but I think he also, he had seen films like that. He's a sophisticated film viewer, and I think he understood what we were trying to do, and we showed him scenes along the way. So it grew organically, really, from that first day.
Yeah, but nobody before in the documentary had taken that approach to a figure as big as Al Gore.
I resemble that remark.
Prominence, I meant. Okay.
And by the way, it's probably a good thing that I had no authority in the editing, much less anything like Final Cut, because in my mind I am younger and my hair is, and I'm thinner. I had to look up cinema verite in the dictionary, true story, and it says the filmmakers come and live with you for 2 years and follow you everywhere you go.